Claire from Created the Ottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! Here in the UK. Thank you for joining me today. I have got an accordion card for you today. It's deceptively easy. Is that the right word I'm looking for? It looks easy, it's a little bit tricky, but how beautiful is that? It's a bit of a wow card. Okay, and that actually does stand. But I will talk you through it step by step. This one is using the hydrangea set from Stampin' Up, and the tag dies for the front and just on a belly band, but basically it's just one sheet and it's just the way that you fold it that makes it a bit of a wow. So shall we give it a go? So we are going to need a couple of bits today: an A4 sheet of paper, some designer series paper and some white card. The stamp set is a tiny little bit of stamping that I'm going to use is Pretty Perennials, and I think I am going to use Night of Navy and some Old Olive as well, which when you look at that doesn't really go, but I think I'm going to concentrate on this side of the paper so that it ties in with it nicely. So the first thing we need to do is make our card base. So how do we do that? We take our piece of A4 card, and on the short side, which is this side along here, we're going to cut it off at 5 7/8 down the whole length. Okay, that leaves us with that piece there, which we're going to cut the belly band at the same time, which is 1 inch. You could have a thicker belly band if you want to, but I quite like the inch size. See, the other size is almost 1.5, but I'm going to use the inch one, so I'm going to put that one out the way. While we're here, we're also going to cut our designer series paper. Now we need 2 pieces that are 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Now I have already cut this, I'm sure, to 3 3/4. That's just down the whole sheet of 12 by 12. So I'm now going to cut 2 pieces off of it at 5 3/4. So there's one piece, and here's the second piece. So 3 3/4 by 5 3/4, and we've got 2 of them. The last piece that we need to do cutting is we need a piece of white card for your sentiment, for your middle panel, and that again is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So I'm just going to cut a long piece off there. 3 3/4. Oh, turn it around and cut a piece off at 5 3/4. And that's it. So you don't really need a lot of stuff. You might want to add an extra piece of card to do this bit for the front of your belly band, but you could just equally just use the band. So 2 pieces of designer series paper, 1 piece of white, your main piece of card for the base, and your belly band. So let's work on this card base. So we need the trimmer again because we're going to do some scoring. I'm just thinking ahead now and realise that I've used navy blue, which is probably not the best for you to see, but let's give it a go. So on the long side, we want to score in at 3 7/8 because your card is going to have 3 panels. So remove the cutting blade right out the way, and you're scoring at 3 7/8 on one side, doing a really nice score line, and then spin the card round and do it 3 7/8 on the other side, and that effectively splits your card base into 3. Okay, so can you see there's 1 panel, 2 panel and 3 panel. Now the next bit is a little bit tricky, especially when you've used navy card like me. So if I open this up, what you're going to do is do these score lines here. Okay, so you want the score lines there that you're doing, and you're doing these score lines here. So if that's flat, you're doing this point to this point, this point to this point, and the same. Now these are the same size, so what you need to do on this first score line, you need to measure down at 2 inches. Now there's different ways you could do this. You can line your score line up here, and then on the top of your trimmer there's actually, let me put a piece of white card underneath so you can see, there's actually a measurement guide on the side there, and 2 inches is just there. So you could do it there. Remember, you're coming down 2 inches. So line up the score line, find your 2 inches here, and just put a little mark in there. So I'm looking for my pencil. See if I can do that. If that doesn't work for you, what you could also do is fold that back, and you want 2 inches there, so you could put a little pencil line there. So when you open it up, you've gone down 2 inches. Now you also need to go up 2 inches on this one. So I'm again going to do that, fold it back, put my 2 inches there, and put a little mark. Okay, so I've got 2 inches up from the bottom and 2 inches down from the top. Now what you need to do is find that 2 inch mark and line it up on your score line. So the easiest way that I've found to do it is the point of your card here. If you put that on your score line and just hold that in place. Oh, not enough room here. So it's on my score line there, and then I'm aiming for that to be in my scoring. So I can just about see that's where my pencil mark is. And if I just look again, my groove, my point is there. Oh, I keep knocking it. Okay. So it is possible to do, just take your time and don't rush. So now I'm going to score. I'm just scoring that first panel. Okay, and if I show you that, so I've got a score line from the point there to the 2 inch mark that I did there. Now this, I'm going to score from this mark back up to this point. So again, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to line up the mark there, and I'm going to bring that round until it's lined up, which I think it is now, and I'm just going to score that line. So I've made like a big elongated triangle there. So can you see that or not? If I hold it down. So I've got a score line from there to that point, there to there. Now I need to turn it round and do the same again. Okay, so I'm going to get that on the point of my card. I'm going to find the score, the little mark that I've done. Just make sure that that's lined up. Oh, I keep knocking it. It's because I've got my stand and my thing all in think that's right. Let's have a look. Score that line first. Yep, that looks good. So I've got my score line there, and now I'm going to do this one. So that's going from the score line there to that mark there. Okay, I think that's right. Okay, so let me show you that. So I've got triangle there, triangle there, triangle there, and triangle there. So can you see that? So what I am going to do now is hold on to that flat, bring that side over, but I want to fold back my triangle. Okay, so I've held onto that flat, pushed that side over, and then pushed my triangle in, and that has gone that way. So I'm just going to burnish that with my foam folder, just so that I've got a really nice crisp edge. I'm just going to press down on all the lines. Now the bottom one also can come in. So again, that comes in there, that comes in there. Okay, so I'm just burnishing those. So that's the front of my card. That's it on the inside and back. Okay. Like so. And that's my card base. I just need to decorate it now. So I'm going to just push it down flat like that. Now, do you remember the two pieces of designer series paper? They're going to go there and there. Okay, and the white piece is going to go in the middle. Now, to do this piece here, what you need to do, the same as we scored 2 inches down on here, we're going to score 2 inches down on this piece of paper. So my word of caution here is make sure you've got it the right way round. So if you want the designer series paper, so you see that side, you know you've got to score down 2 inches on this side, because this is the front. So 2 inches, and I'm just going to put a little pencil mark there. Okay, so now I'm going to go from this point, the corner, to my pencil line there, and that is going to cut a triangle off. Now, because you can squash the corners of your paper in really easily, and it doesn't give you a nice point, I always put my blade in the middle and cut outwards, and then you get a really nice point there. So that's one side, and that's my triangle I've cut off. Now, to make sure that fits, on the short side you want to cut off, if you do 5mm, I know that's mixing measurements, but it's probably the easiest. So it's ever such a thin sliver, okay? And that's going to go on there, like that. And that's going to go on there. Ta-da! So now you're going to do the same with this side, but remember that the triangle is here. So you need to come up, you need the 2-inch score mark line from the bottom. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to do my 2-inch mark, and I'm going to go to this point. So this is the point on my score line. And then my pencil mark is there, and that's going to cut me off a triangle. Put my blade in the middle and go outwards both ways. Okay, so that bit I know is okay. I need to turn that So I've got the short side here, and I'm going to cut off 5 millimeters again, just that tiny sliver, and then I know that's going to fit. So should we stick those bits before we do the white? Because the principle is the same, just a little bit different. So let's stick these down. Just going to use some Tombow glue because it's perfect for that wiggle room. So we're just going all over, just because we want to make sure that the corners are stuck down nicely. And that is going on there. Just there's a tiny frame all around of the navy blue. Just a lovely, different style card. Okay, so I'm just going to stick that one on as well. And that's going to go that way round, just in that triangle. And if you just, with your eye, try and line up the edge down there, the rest will all go together. So that's that side. Now let's stick this side. So again, just a bit of glue all over to give you a bit of wiggle. Move that triangle out of the way, because this time it goes at the top. Okay. Really like this navy blue pattern. I know the other side's much more florally, much more different colours. But I'll just put a bit of glue down the end there so the point sticks. What's that got? A little bubble of glue. And then again, if you concentrate on lining up the edge here. Oh, there's a little bit of glue there. So that side. Now, the middle bit, you've got exactly the same size piece, but this time you're cutting a piece off the top and the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to move that out of the way. So we need to cut, score, mark down 2 inches on this side and up on this side. So I'll get my pencil. 2 inches down on this side is there. Oh, it doesn't want to mark. Okay. I'm going to cut that one off first, I think, so I don't get confused. So I'm lining my pencil mark up. That's on the point. And that's lined up there. And I'm doing the same as I did with the DSP. I'm putting the cutting blade in the middle and then going either end. And I'm also doing the same, whereas I'm turning the triangle and cutting off 5 millimeters on the shorter side. Okay, so it's just a thin sliver. So that is my top bit. That is going there. So now I need to do 2 inches on this side. Just about 2 inches. And I've got my little pencil mark and I've got my point here. Nearly there. There. Put the blade in the middle, up and down. That's that bit. And cut off 5 millimeters on that side. Okay, just that little bit of a sliver. And then if we have a look at this white paper, so that is going to go on there, just like that. this bit is, oh, I think it's there, like that, and that piece is there. Now you could just leave it all white, but I think maybe put a little bit of detail on either end and a sentiment in the middle. So let's think. I want to put a stamp in the middle, so I am going to make sure that this edge is lined up with a straight line so I can put my sentiment straight. Does that make sense? Because otherwise I'm tempted to put it at an angle. So I'm going to put it, keep it in line with that, and I'm going to use my happy, from my Pretty Perennials set here. I'm using the big happy, and I'm going to do it in navy blue because the card's navy. I'm hoping that this is going to come out okay. So my line is right, so now I'm just getting the stamp straight. Okay, there's my happy and birthday. Let's see if there's a birthday bit in there. Yep. Did I bring the smallest block? Yep. So this is going to be in blue as well. And I am going to go across because I've left a little smudge and I want to hide that. Happy birthday. Okay, so that's going to go in the middle of my card. Let's stick that in. I'm trying to carefully not touch the white. You know what it's like when you touch it and you've got some ink on you that you can't see. So that's going to be my sentiment in the middle. And although it's at an angle, my sentiment is straight, so that should look okay. Oh, let's move that. Yep, I'm happy with that. Happy. And then this bit and this bit, I'm going to do a bit of stamping on. So what could we put on here? I think maybe a flower or two. That's probably too big. Let's do this one. Oh, that's not good, is it? Let's see if I can get back over that. Like that. Okay, that's 3 in that one. Luckily, I was saved because these are polymer stamps and I can see where I'm stamping. Same with that. And then I think I want a couple of leaves on there just to take away some of the navy blue. So I've got a couple of little leaves. Hopefully. So I'm just double stamping on those. So stamp and then stamp again. And maybe off the edge there. Like so. And then the same on this one. Like that. And just like that, I think. I'm not going to overdo the stamping. And then let's stick these on as well. Glue right in front of your eyes, Claire. So that is going to be my top one. my top triangle. Oh, how could I do that? Okay. Quickly get that off. And then when that dries, I'll use my rubber to get the glue off. No mistakes in crafting, just happy accidents. And this is my bottom one. I think the green looks quite nice on there actually. So that is that. Ta-da! So that's my inside of my card done. Now my belly band, I just wrap it around. So what I like to do is I don't like to see a crease on mine, as in a join on mine. So I'm going to join it to that bit there and then fold it round that way so that it goes all the way to there. And then what I'm going to do is put a bit of glue on this bit here and a bit of glue on this bit here, and then when they line up they should not be able to see a join. So that's that. And then I've got some of these tags that I did earlier, so that one's going to go on there. Just going to put a bit of glue on there like that, and then my sentiment for the front, I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the front at the moment, so that's going to go there, and that will be my card done. So there's today's card. Here's one I made earlier. Let go on there. So that opens up like that. Ooh. And that just slides onto there. Like so. I hope you enjoyed that accordion card. Thanks for watching.